like to call our own. 100 times I've touched your face, each time my heart comes home. Closer than I've ever been, farther than I've faded lands of summer undone, a feeling like no other I've known. Don't fade away like summer alone. Skin it glows so salty sweet, the rain it comes for us all, on a midnight ride while the city sleeps. 100 times I fall, faded lands of summer undone, a feeling like no other I've known. Don't fade away like summer alone. Yours is the beauty, reminds me of home. How could I know what I missed before? The faded lands of summer undone, a feeling like no other I've known. Don't fade away with summer.
Greetings to you and your screen, wherever you are, and welcome to Bushwick Book Club presents original music inspired by Ted Chiang's best-selling collection of short stories, Exhalation. I'm Sailor St. Clair, and I'm hosting tonight with my para self. Say hi, self. Hi. Hi, self. Special thanks to our presenting sponsor tonight, Clarion West, supporting and engaging underrepresented voices by providing them with world-class instruction to empower their creation of wild and amazing worlds. And of course, thank you also to longtime Bushwick ally Town Hall Seattle. And coming your way tonight is brand new music from Jaime Brew, Nova Karina Devonie, Peter Donovan, Reggie Garrett, Cate Graves, the Half Brothers, Kate Olson, Emily Persha, Evan J. Peterson, Matt Price, and Mike Votava. We have some special guest readers joining us from Clarion West because we know how much you like a little story with your songs. Many of tonight's contributors, including author Ted Chiang himself, are with us live in the chat. So performers and our very esteemed guest, please go ahead and make yourselves known, say hi, while the rest of you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our online performances. As part of Bushwick's ongoing 10th anniversary season celebration, tonight's show features two special alumni performances from acts who were important contributors in the very early years of Bushwick Book Club. Cate Graves left us to start the Los Angeles and Santa Barbara chapter of the Bushwick Book Club before she moved on to Nashville. And then, of course, there are the Half Brothers. The Bushwick Selfie Committee is here as well, collecting responses to the question, what do you hold on to when it feels like everything is changing? Maybe yourself? Bushwick welcomes your tax-deductible donation in lieu of a cover charge for tonight's performance, and any other time that you may feel so moved. Forms are available at the bushwickbookclubseattle.com/donate or bit.ly/bushexhalation. Thank you for joining us as we explore this universe and others.
From The Merchant and the Alchemist's Gate by Ted Chiang. O mighty Caliph and commander of the faithful, I am humbled to be in the splendor of your presence. A man can hope for no greater blessing as long as he lives. The story I have to tell is truly a strange one, and were the entirety to be tattooed at the corner of one's eye, the marvel of its presentation would not exceed that of the events recounted, for it is a warning to those who would be warned and a lesson to those who would learn. My name is Fuad ibn Abbas, and I was born here in Baghdad, city of peace. My father was a grain merchant, but for much of my life I have worked as a purveyor of fine fabrics, trading in silk from Damascus and linen from Egypt and scarves from Morocco that are embroidered with gold. I was prosperous, but my heart was troubled, and neither the purchase of luxuries nor the giving of alms was able to soothe it. Now I stand before you without a single dirham in my purse, but I am at peace. Allah is the beginning of all things, but with your Majesty's permission, I begin my story with the day I took a walk through the district of metalsmiths.
Hi, I'm Emily Persha, and I wrote my song about the second story in the novel, Exhalation. And I think what inspired me most in this story was the statement about kind of our place in the universe and our purpose. I feel like often when you start talking about the universe or our place in the world and in the universe, it can feel really vast and overwhelming and kind of make you feel so small and insignificant. And in the story, it talked a lot about kind of this inevitability towards equilibrium. And so that the world and the universe is moving towards this state that really is outside of our control. I think when you think in those terms, it can feel like, well, what's the point of any choice or decision I make? I think what was beautiful was the realization that the character had in the story, that those choices we make, the decisions that we make, the art we create, the connections that we have, those really are the point. And each of those choices and the things that we create, those in and of themselves are miracles. And there's a kind of transcendence from ourselves to not just generation to generation, but perhaps humanity to humanity, universe to universe. And in this great exhalation of the universe, and each of us being a part of that and in that breath. And so that's where my story, or that's where my song was inspired by and born from. So my song is called Exhalation.
Will my breath be yours one day? Will a part of me remain? Do our stories echo across the years? Will you feel it in your blood? Collective joy and pain and love that all gave rise to you.
Hello everyone, Mike Votava here, and I'm ready to party. I got party arms! Party arms! Thanks for having me tonight. I'm really excited to be here. I really enjoyed the book, Exhalation. One of the stories that immediately jumped out at me was one called What is Expected of Us. Now, the story is about these little tiny devices called predictors. They're about the size of a garage door opener, and they got a button on them and a flashy green light. Woohoo! These little devices, they don't seem like much, but they actually prove that free will does not exist. Free will is just a stupid thing that us dumb humans made up so we could feel better about our dumb lives. And that got me thinking about my favorite free will philosopher, Dr. Neil Peart. And I'd just like to take a moment to read something to you that he wrote. You can choose a ready guide in some celestial voice. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You can choose from phantom fears and kindness that can kill. I will choose a path that's clear. I will choose free will. Again, that was from Dr. Neil Peart. You may also know him as the drummer from the famous Canadian prog rock band Rush. You know Rush, right? Of Salesmen? Of Salesmen! So my song is about a traveling salesman who goes around door to door selling these predictors to stupid people who want to buy them. And it's called Of Salesmen. Here we go. I'm going door to door with predictors in my briefcase. You can't resist my charm. It goes all the way to 11. Never mind all of the warnings. All that you've heard is a lie. Brains are not meant to be broken. 100% of the time, I guarantee that you'll be fine. Of salesmen, of salesmen, of salesmen. You got the green light. Wait 1 second. Press the button. Choice and illusion. Predetermined. You'll buy one from me. None of your decisions matter. You think that they do, but they don't. Maybe I'll get a promotion. Millions and millions have sold. It's the easiest job in the world. Of salesmen, of salesmen, of salesmen. Of salesmen.
I hold on to the people around me and closest to me, my partner, my family, because they change slowly for better or for worse. So when everything else around me feels like it's changing, at least I can rely on them to be basically the same as they were yesterday.
Hey everyone. My name is Kate Olson, and I am just thrilled to be participating in this iteration of the Bushwick Book Club. I love Ted Chiang, and I love this book so much. This is actually the second time that I'm reading it, and I realized on my second read through that every one of these stories has something to do with the interaction between fate or destiny and free will, and kind of questions whether both of those things exist. So I wrote a song called Fate Can Choose, and I'm going to perform it here for you now, inspired by Ted Chiang's Exhalation. If I'm the sum of my decisions, then I guess they've led me here to you. I'm a million-mile list of mistakes and dirty deeds I swear I'd never do. We've lost ourselves to history. We're travelers through the milky fog. It was always meant to be this way. No choice, we've told this story for so long. Maybe there exists a mirror, one that shows you all that might have been. If you'd become a different person, if I'd been born into different skin. But we can't escape our only fate, it's written in the stars. The winds of chance may lead us there, we'd know the way blindfolded in the dark. If I'm the sum of my decisions, I'm so glad they led me here to you. I'd make the same mistakes again and hope you'd make the same ones too. We found ourselves back home at last, as if we'd never left this worn out path. I guess it's not fate if you choose, and I choose you and hope you choose me too.
Human activity has brought my kind to the brink of extinction, but I don't blame them for it. They didn't do it maliciously, they just weren't paying attention. And humans create such beautiful myths, what imaginations they have. Perhaps that's why their aspirations are so immense. Look at Arecibo. Any species who can build such a thing must have greatness within them. My species probably won't be here for much longer. It's likely that we'll die before our time and join the great silence. But before we go, we are sending a message to humanity. We just hope the telescope at Arecibo will enable them to hear it. The message is this: you be good, I love you.
Hello, my name is Jaime Brew. Thank you so much for having me at the Bushwick Book Club. I'll get started. In Ted Chiang's short story, The Great Silence, a parrot describes two kinds of cross-species communication. First, parrots and people. Second, people and aliens via the Arecibo telescope. Now, this telescope collapsed in real life in December 2020. And with that collapse comes an invitation and challenge to create the next generation of interspecies communication. I'm going to show you a prototype tonight of a new form of interspecies communication that combines two we're already familiar with: the simple commands we give to dogs and the endlessly looping hold music that corporations and other species use to communicate with people. Without further ado, here's the first draft of the cosmic hold music.
Sit, stay, and roll over. Shake hands and play dead. I just wanna show ya. I wanna tell you that I love you. You be good. Sit, stay, and roll over. Shake hands and play dead. I just wanna show ya. I wanna tell you, you be good. Sit, stay, and roll. Shake hands and play dead. I just wanna show ya. I wanna tell you. Sit, stay, and roll over. Shake hands and play dead. I just wanna show ya. I wanna tell you that I love you. You be good. Sit, stay, and roll over. Shake hands and play dead. I just wanna show ya. I wanna tell you that I love you. You be good. Sit, stay, and roll over. Shake hands and play dead. I just wanna show ya. I wanna tell you that I love you.
So I've already written a couple of songs about robots, and the themes of memory loss and wanting to go back in time to change the past hit a little too close to home. So I picked the one about the parrot who's wondering why humans are looking in outer space to try to find another intelligent life form when there's obviously one right here on Earth. Talk to me, pretty bird. You're the genius of the forest, so we've heard. You got lots of things to say, so what's the word? Pretty bird. upon the mountain there's an eye, and is staring at the space between the stars. Between the stars there is a silence that goes on and on for endless lonely hours. Talk to me, pretty bird. Between fact and fantasy the lines are blurred. Don't you think that what we're doing is absurd, pretty bird? On the mountains they're all staring at the sky. We are castaways adrift among the stars. Among the stars we look for sirens, but the only voice that comes to us is ours. Thinking of all those clever birds, the brilliant birds, the wise old birds up on Arecibo. Thinking of all those magic birds, fantastic birds, enlightened birds up on Arecibo. Talk to me, pretty bird. That old hornet's nest of hope is getting stirred. But you know a thing or two of dreams deferred, pretty bird.
When everything is changing, I hold on.
Hi, Bushwickers. I wish we could all be singing these songs together in person. This is my contribution for the book Exhalation. It's a dark little love song. I fell in love with a robot. Not quite sure how the whole thing started all. He started liking on my Instagram, and I assumed it was a real man. Postmodern, smoke on if you got 'em. Scrolling down way below rock bottom. Postmodern. I'm still in love with a robot. We sit in chat rooms and we type a lot. I think he got a wife, but maybe not. I wouldn't want to put him on the spot. Postmodern, smoke on if you got 'em. Scrolling down way below rock bottom. I'm still in love with a robot. I check his socials, but he's got me blocked. Work on my avatar and online shop. I wish I hadn't sent those nudie shots. Postmodern. Smoke on if you got 'em. Scrolling down way below rock bottom. Postmodern. Post postmodern. I think the moral of the song is let's all get outside right now. All right, sending lots of love to all of you.
Darling of mine, well, I don't know why I love you like I do, but I can't deny, don't know why I would try to. A couple strays, we found ourselves a home, and now we're never alone. Darling of mine, we're both flying high, we were laughing till it hurt. We're back on the ground, the earth let us down, we came crashing to the dirt. A couple strays, we found ourselves a home, and now we're never alone. If I could make this better, we could live like this forever. We could dance away these rotten blues. If you're wondering, just ask me, and I'll tell you just exactly what I need to get me through. I just need you. I just need you. Darling of mine, why are you crying? Who taught you to do that? Those eyes need some drying, 'cause there's no denying I'll always have your back. A couple strays, we found ourselves a home, and now we're never alone. could make this better, we could live like this forever. And we could dance away these rotten blues. If you're wondering, just ask me, and I'll tell you just exactly what I need to get me through. I just need you. I just need you. And our world's been torn to tatters, but the only thing that really matters is love. It's love. It's love. If I could make this better, we could live like this forever. And we could dance away these rotten blues. If you're wondering, just ask me, and I'll tell you just exactly what I need to get me through. I just need you. I just need you. Couple strays, we found ourselves a home.
On the screen was a face that was doubly familiar. First, because it was Roderick. And second, because his face was worn from months of grief. The same pattern of wear that Ornella saw on Scott's face every day. Scott and Roderick must have had the same reaction because simultaneously they started to cry. And never before had Ornella felt so strongly that these two men were meant to be together. The way that each one could look into the other's face and see himself. Scott and Roderick started talking, their words overlapping. Ornella didn't want strangers to hear what they said and stood up. Can we give them some privacy? The woman, Nat, nodded and made to leave the room. But Ornella heard Morrow on the other side of the prism speak up. They can have all the private conversations they want once the prisms are theirs. But first, they have to buy them. At the same time, the two Ornellas asked, how much? Morrow named a figure. Ornella saw Nat react, as if the number was higher than she expected. Scott and Roderick didn't hesitate. Pay them! Ornella took Scott's hand and looked at him, wordlessly asking, are you sure about this? He squeezed her hand and nodded. Earlier, they had talked about the finiteness of what the prism offered. No matter how much he and Roderick tried to conserve, the amount of data left on his pad wouldn't last the rest of their lives. They wouldn't be satisfied with just text. They would want to hear each other's voices and see each other's faces. So the pad would eventually run out. And then they'd have to say goodbye. Scott had been willing to go ahead with it. Any extra time they had together was worth it, as far as he was concerned. And when the end came, at least it wouldn't come as a surprise. Ornella stood and turned to Nat. Come with me and I'll issue the payment. She could hear her parallel self telling Morrow the same thing. The screen shifted away from Roderick's face to Morrow's, and then the screen went dark. He wasn't going to let his prism out of his sight until the money was in his account. Nat, by contrast, was content to leave her prism on the table with Scott. She looked at him awkwardly for a moment and then said, "I'm very sorry for your loss." "Thank you," Scott said, wiping away tears.
Hey.
Hey, happy Valentine's Day, Evan.
Thank you, Evan. Do you have a date?
You know I don't, Evan. I am my date.
Yeah, me too. Which means, I guess, you're my date.
Could do worse.
And we have.
Seriously, though, I've really enjoyed our time together, and this is going to sound weird, but it's been a long pandemic.
What are you saying?
I'm falling in love with you. Me.
Oh my God, that's really kinky.
I know, right? But it's the truth. You get me.
Well, I love you too.
Really? Like, really, really?
Yes, dumbbell, really, really. So, what happens now?
Well, since we cannot be together in person, or you know what I mean. Here, I wrote a poem for you. It's inspired by Exhalation.
The Ted Chiang book? You finally read it?
I did, and you were right. He's a freaking genius. I still don't know how you read it before me.
Quantum deviations. So, read me this love poem.
Okay, it's called Ghazal for Space and Time.
Oh, you wrote me a Persian ghazal? That's my favorite poetic form.
I know! Okay, here goes.
Aww.
We dance down the helix of space through time. A swish down the curling staircase through time. All bodies make slight deviations in time. As gravity bends just a trace through time. Entropical islands, grains of sand slip through time. The hourglass keeps such sweet pace through time. Singularity, vortex, that whirlpool of time, twist into me like that on our chase through time. I soften and let you pass through me this time. Our atoms, so much empty space through time. A matrix of quarks, quantum jewels across time, a necklace, a snood, veils of lace through time. Webs knit from webs, we're just fractals of time. Pass your hand through my chest with such grace through time. Stars and planets collide, so unchaste through time. And you make me so proudly debased through time. So collapse like a star I embrace through time, and shoot your comets across my face through time. Reach back, touch my past, I dare you this time. Go ahead, try again, just in case through time. You're my pilot, my captain, flying ace through time. Fate's just a smear, hyperspace through time.
Oh my God, Evan. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. I mean every word.
Well, I wrote you a poem too.
Nuh-uh.
I did. Ready?
Of course, read it to me.
Okay. Roses are red, violets are blue. I wish our timelines intersected so we could finally screw.
Wow. that's lovely.
I'd never read anything by Ted Chiang before I read Exhalation stories, and I have to say it was a pleasant surprise. I plan to read more by him when I get the chance. What I got out of most of the stories, particularly the main story, Exhalation, was the idea of the ending of things, that all things come to an end, but in certain circumstances, beings having to deal with the inevitable and certain ending that was headed their way with nothing they could do about it. Now, I know that this was science fiction. It made me think about a book that I read years ago, one that affected me greatly when I was a lot younger, On the Beach, which was about the ending of the world after a nuclear war. And it concentrated on members of a nuclear submarine and the people that they knew in San Francisco as they all just waited for the inevitability of their deaths from atomic fallout. For some reason, this book made me think of that. And so I went to the place of thinking about what would it be like to face that kind of ending. And naturally for me, it sort of gravitated toward the ending of a love affair. Anyway, those are the kinds of things I was thinking about when I wrote this. It's a song called Let's Kiss Once More. Hope you like it.
Well, it's a sad affair to know it's through, and there's not my love the gods themselves can do. As the autumn winds blow through, oh my love, let's kiss once more before we say adieu. No more farewells, no more our loving, no more these cycles of becoming. All this dead at last has surely come due. Oh my love, let's kiss once more before we say adieu. And we'll ne'er tread these pathways anymore. So turn out the lights, my love, and close the door. And take my hand in the morning dew. let's kiss once more before we say adieu. No wanton seasons to spring anew. Oh, my love, let's kiss once more before we say adieu.
Hello, I'm Nova Karina Devonie. Thank you, Bushwick, for inviting me to be a part of this evening. Thanks also to Ted Chiang for writing such a wonderful collection of short stories, so full of great songwriting ideas. I also have to thank my music partner, David Keenan. Not only was he the sound engineer as this song was recorded in his studio, but he also played many of the instruments and did all the video editing. Couldn't have done it without you, Dave. A particular sentence struck me early on as I was reading this book. It's from the story that has the same name as the title of the book. And the sentence is, "I would then be able to dissect my own brain." And that just jumped out at me. I went off on my own tangent, but the song that emerged definitely was inspired by ideas that came from that story. So thank you. I hope you enjoy it. The name of the song is Apart. To take my brain apart, find out what makes me tick inside, carefully discard the useless bits that lurk and hide. If the memories unfold like the words upon a lessons of my age. Maybe I can make a trade, send cogs and gears your way. We'll feel renewed and more alive with different things to say. Let's take them all apart, rebuild the future from within, mind and soul and heart.
Does their pressure hold them in? And you creatures in the stars from a different place and time, please find remnants of our strange brains. Would the long dark ride
Sometimes I describe myself as trailer trash with a library card. I grew up going to like 12 different elementary schools. As a little kid, I lived in Jacksonville, Florida, and Brownsville, Texas, and Desert Hot Springs, California, and San Francisco, California, and back down to Desert Hot Springs, and then over to San Diego. And my dad was a ne'er-do-well, so we were constantly moving around. But from the age of about 4, I've played the guitar. Started out with the classical guitar. So when the world is changing all around me, which it has been since I was a little kid, I just reach for this. And then I could do something that I did when I was 4. It's worked out really well for me because I just got used to it at a young age.
Hello, everybody. My name is John Ackerman, and I am 1/3 of the acoustic trio, the Half Brothers. We're very excited to be back in the Bushwick fold, albeit virtually this time. And we were very excited to write something based on Exhalation. We actually chose the eponymous story as the subject for our song, the story Exhalation. And I just loved the universe that this story occupies. It's really all-encompassing. And we imagined, as we were writing it, we imagined the song was a poetic extension of the narrator's engravings to future alien races that might find them after their own race had died out. So the song is called No Pressure. Enjoy.
When the universe takes a breather, heed these engravings, my dear reader. Know these statues that you see here. They were our bodies and we were dreamers. Spinning old leaf on cushions of air, patterns of pressure that make me aware. But the turret clocks cannot run fast or slow down. Must be us and the argon all around. So dear reader, when we looked into the chromium skies, we could simply never fathom that we were headed
Thank you for dropping in to read books and sing songs with us. Thank you for your donations and for your memberships. Those help us to keep bringing music into your homes while we continue to be apart. Let's hear it for Jaime Brew, Nova, Karina, Devonie, Peter Donovan, Reggie Garrett, Cate Graves, the Half Brothers, Kate Olson, Emily Persha, Evan J. Peterson, Matt Price, and Mike Votava. All of those artists have their own online spots where you can find more of their work. The Bushwick Book Club Seattle has nothing but gratitude for Clarion West and Town Hall, our season sponsors. The Winter Blue Room for co-production and streaming support, and the Bushwick production team, and of course, all of you for reading and listening and engaging with us online. We hope that you can join us on April 17th for original music inspired by When Stars Are Scattered, a 2021 Seattle Public Library Global Reading Challenge pick. And Bushwick is hiring, so if you want to be part of this team, visit thebushwickbookclubseattle.com for more information. Stay well, and good night.